first off, I want to start this podcast by saying the Tank Top Squad is here.
Yeah.
Both.
That's a dress.
Oh,
Okay.
is it? Oh, bummer. I thought we were.
Other fun.
Mom,
No.
do the flex. Do the flex. Yeah, okay, Mom. See, that's
This
where I
arm-
get it from. That's where I
This
get
arm-
it from.
Hardly. Put your father on. This
Yeah.
arm has been killing me.
Really?
Right? Just
From
that
what?
arm. No idea. So I stopped doing everything. So I can't blame my chicken. I stopped doing everything.
Stop doing. Okay.
Tricep curls because it really hurts up.
Is it your shoulder?
No, it's my arm. It's like this muscle right in here. So I was doing some push-ups. I was doing pretty good.
Oh, your microphone's backwards. I was like, why are you so?
No. Yeah. I was doing push-ups. It was pretty good. Then I was doing light bar, my tricep curls.
Yeah.
And now it's sore. So I've been resting it for about a week and a half now. It's better, but it's still pretty sore.
Just trying to get out of workouts.
Yeah.
It's been 2 months.
Now I'm flipping things like how to get rid of your bat wings. They call
Bat
those
wings?
bat wings.
That's
now.
just-
Yeah,
you
the
just
old
gotta
lady arms.
You just got to tighten up the tricep, ma.
Yeah, right.
Gotta do more.
That's all I got to do. Yeah, right. Anyhow.
What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, this week news-wise, I don't know much has changed. I mean, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on in Gaza right now with the starvation, which I'm sure you've heard of, but I feel like there's not really enough information to talk about that. Have you seen anything on this?
Right.
I didn't even grab an article, but
I see reports of Hamas people in the tunnels eating like kings and the people starving up above.
so there's something weird going on there, but even the journalists say that they're starving. Like the ones that are over, it's like, what?
Oh, I believe. Oh, the journalists themselves or the people there they see?
The journalists.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
if you block the food, according to Israel, or other reports, Israel is not blocking shipments coming in from other countries. So
Yeah. So
I wouldn't put it past them they don't care. I wouldn't put past Hamas to be keeping the food from the people so they starve and they can blame Israel. I mean, that's a tactic they would do.
Yeah, the problem is I don't think we have enough information yet to prove that. But when multiple news organizations are coming together to make a statement, that's where I go,
Yeah. What news organizations would that be?
I think it was
The ones that pushed the Russia hoax for how long, and now we're finding out they were so complicit they're not even reporting what's coming out now?
right. I don't know. All I know is that I always think we're going to the end of that war, like we're almost at the end, the tail end, and then something else just happens. Like how many times has Trump been at like some level of a peace deal, and then either Israel or not Iran, no Iran,
Palestine.
yeah, someone drops a bomb somewhere, does something stupid. So unfortunately, I don't think we can make any progress on that one, but.
Well, nobody wants to see people starve. I certainly don't. And the citizens, I don't know, eventually you have to start if you can't trust media, you have to trust what you see, before your eyes. That's what the journalists, you would hope, are there to say, why are these people not getting food, and investigating it.
Right.
If it's literally, your enemy keeping the food from coming in, to prove that. If it's their own people keeping them, but like the nature of people is they don't want to starve, no matter how much they believe in an ideology. Although they probably would go a lot. I will say this: some of these Middle Eastern nations, these people will starve. They will let their child starve for the cause.
Yeah, because unfortunately their religion is like. Some of their religions is it's like God, like it's a gateway to heaven if you can die when you die. It's very strange.
Martyrdom.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they want to starve or they want to get, but that mentality over there is I think they would let that happen before they turn anybody in. Before they blame or point fingers at whoever is running the show there. I assume Hamas at this time, but they would be the first to blame. Must be Israel, because our own people wouldn't starve us. Of course they, of course they would if they put bomb sites or missile launches in schools for that reason. Because their attitude was, well, they won't, if they bomb the missile site, they're going to hit a school and we can blame them for hitting a school.
Right.
I mean, that's been a tactic for how long? For years. And Israel's been saying that for how long? So, I don't know, would they keep food from their people? Sad to say, they would do that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
on a positive note, how was the week, Mother?
Yeah.
I don't know why we started. Usually we do. How was the week? Anything special happen?
The continuing Grandma saga that I'm sure everyone's bored about. No, it was a good week. Grandma got a good report. She got her stitches out.
Oh, that's right.
She had this enormous cast that was on her arm. The orthopedist looked at it and he goes, "Get that thing off of her. She doesn't need that. She just has a distal fracture." So they took this enormous, around the arm where she could barely hold it up with her small frame and put just a basic hand wrap,
Wow.
like night and day. Not a hand wrap, but
Gotta love that Glens Falls Hospital up there.
Well,
Sponsor us.
I understood. It was smart to do it. It's an abundance of caution. She was
Right.
supposed to go to orthopedics 3 days later, but there was no way I could get, it's hard enough to do that with a kid when 3 days later, let alone a 91-year-old with a heart condition. So it was good. She traveled from up there down here, so probably protected the wrist more and maybe, is helping it to heal. So trying to be positive, trying to keep everything positive. But yeah, it was for us a busy week, but I'm limited as to what I can do with her. So it's a lot of sitting around.
Is Grandma able to write, or not really? Is she more lefty now?
She was using the left a lot when she had that jumbuck cast on her right
Oh, wow.
arm. Now she's got more flexibility. She can actually take the brace off, but it's
Uncomfortable.
risky to do that because she doesn't remember so much that you can't do everything with it, right? Like so she'll reach for a toothbrush. I'm like, no, don't do that, and it'll hurt. So she can sit with it off. The orthopedist said, "Oh yeah, she could put some pressure on." I said, "Well, the other arm's still broken." He goes, "Ooh, then just do it when needed." So she still is relying a little bit on us for some things, which is fine. She's getting frustrated, which is understandable, but I have to remind her, you're going at the pace for your age. Which makes her mad.
Yeah, there's no winning in that conversation, unfortunately. But that's 91 for you.
Yeah, and as I said earlier at the start of the podcast, she's, understandably, she get a little depressed with the situation, and she's kind of not used to our routine either. We're not, as you know, we're not ones to go out to dinner a lot.
Yeah.
We don't order in a lot.
We can't afford it.
Yeah, we POA. We don't go out, just in general. I'm like, Mom, I don't go out all the time. I go out, a couple of days a week. I have enough projects around my house, which is boring for her. And, yeah. So anyhow,
I can't wait to spend a week with my grandmother. It's going to be me and my aunt for 5 days. Woo. I go up on Tuesday, everyone. So
we are literally at the halfway mark. It's week 10.
Wow, it feels like so much longer.
I know. Tell me about it. So it's a good break. No, it's a good break. And as I said, for you guys coming, that'll mix it up a little bit. She's excited about it.
Yeah.
My birthday's at the end of the week. She thinks there's a big party. There is no big party.
Well, I'll have to see what Aunt Sue does. Aunt Sue's going to set up a party. I know it's coming. Get ready, Mom. Your 28th birthday. Here we go.
Yeah. I ordered my own cake. Your dad was put off by that. Said, "I'm not having an ice cream cake." I'm having an ice cream cake.
Do you remember? I can use her name now, but do you remember she used to send me those cakes for my birthday? Those things were sick. The Cold Stone Creamery ones, those were dope. And she would be like, "Pick which one you want," and I'd be like, "All of them."
You sat in the basement by yourself with a spoon, digging your way out.
Who ate the whole cake in a day?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love those cakes. Hey, Cold Stone, where's our sponsorship?
Sponsor. Yeah.
I'll put down a cake every stream, every podcast.
No, I actually ordered one from a bakery in Somerville, New Jersey, called Blue Sheep.
Oh, guys, that means it's a 7-layer cake. That means it's not an ice cream cake.
No, well, it's not an ice cream cake. I don't care for ice cream cakes.
Change of plans. I don't want to go home anymore.
It's an interesting. They do. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it's worth the hype.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I ordered it for my birthday.
Well, we saw those extra crunchies. That extra crunchy Carvel that you sent.
I sent that.
Oh my God, Michael.
Now, see, I was gonna buy that, and then I said, "No, your father's gonna say there's only 3 of us. Why are you getting 2 cakes? It's piggish, and you're an enabler."
But it's not 3 of us. It's 5 of us.
Well, I didn't know if you guys were going to be here on Saturday, so I thought it was just 3 of us. So naturally, I said that, and he says, "Well, you mean there's no ice cream?" We're not having ice cream
The
cake.
one.
It's not your birthday. It's my birthday.
Michael has found.
Yeah.
You know who Zing Zing the monkey is?
Yes, I
Yeah,
saw it.
Zing Zing. Zing Zing's very famous. I like the expressions that monkey has. It's hilarious. Yeah. So I'm sure I didn't realize how famous that monkey is.
He sent that video. You saw it?
Yeah.
He said, you know, what Kenny does when I bring home McDonald's.
Yeah, and he takes off the pickles.
That's what I found funny because I thought it was just going to be him eating it. And then when I saw him picking through it all, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's so Kenny.
Yeah, Zing Zing. I didn't realize. I've seen Zing Zing for years. I didn't realize Zing Zing's missing an arm. I didn't notice that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't notice it either.
I've never noticed because you always see her sitting. You don't realize when she's walking, she only has one arm. Known of her for years, and I didn't even know. I think she's a rescue, but I think she's also an ambassador. She's one of those ambassador animals.
Of course.
Yeah,
she looks regal.
Yeah, the side eye. Talk about side eye. She's just like. But
oh, too funny.
What else? Mike and I, we did our Marvel Rivals, the Marvel Rivals update. Oh, really? Last night, Mike and we were going in pretty deep. Mike was not a happy camper until we started swinging it around. I don't know how Kenny sleeps when Michael's there.
I'm sure he's like so mad. They're probably fighting all the time. He sent me. So I sent Michael this morning all this advice, you know, because he's got a big week coming up.
Right. Mike got a job.
Clean your place, you know, get your stuff ready because you got them on
first day of school.
Kind of like that, right?
I was gonna get water, Mom. Go ahead.
It's school that never ends. Yeah. So I gave him all this information, you know, nice long text message. He sends me back the clip of the Fantastic Four with Dr. Doom. Yeah. Like, what the hell? So I watched the clip, and later on in the day, not right away, I text him back and I go, I think it's going to be one of those, you know, Dr. Doom comes to the Fantastic Four because they're going to have a new villain. And I sent him my 2 cents about it. You know, I said, that's why I think they did it that way, blah, blah, blah. He's like, not arguing it, but he's giving me his take on it. Well, I don't think it's that, Mom, because like at the end of the day, I go, why are we doing this?
So what's hilarious is Michael, so Drew came into the Discord while Mike and I were playing, which completely derailed everyone's focus, right? So they were talking about it, and I haven't seen the movie. As everyone knows, I'm not the biggest movie buff. But like we all knew that it was announced years ago that Robert Downey Jr. was going to play Doom. So that's why I was like, why is everyone so surprised about this? But obviously it sets up another movie. But again, I don't really, I don't know what like the big surprise was that Dr. Doom's in the movie.
I didn't realize he would be, which I guess makes sense. Dr. Doom is from the Fantastic Four, right? He's the villain in Fantastic Four. Yeah. The way it was presented, where he's just sitting on the sofa. I don't know if you saw the trailer, and the little kid, Fantastic Four's kid that they had, leaves the room.
My
and the
mom
mother goes.
God, my mom. It makes me so mad how little knowledge you have in the Marvel universe. Franklin Richards is the most powerful being in the Marvel universe. Their kid is the most powerful. Mom, he can make universes in his mind.
Well, that's why Mike said, well, he was probably healing Dr. Doom's scars because he has the ability to do that. I said, well, that might be true. I don't know. But the way they set it up, where the kid left the room and the mother goes to find the kid and she starts, you know, glowing, whatever her thing is, into defensive mode. And you see him on the sofa with the cloak and the kid. Yeah. I said, you know what? The way they did that tells me he was there to meet with them.
Right.
Like something they're going to talk about something. Like that's just my take. That's why Mike was coming back with me I think the kid was actually healing.
Can't wait.
Right, too much
Can't wait.
Week, Mike.
Yeah. Can't wait till 2030 when that movie comes out.
Well, I've seen good things about Fantastic Four.
Well, here's one thing that I think a lot of people forget. They redid that whole movie. Right, people did not like the trailer, so they reshot like 90% of that movie, and I didn't know that. And then they took out it's almost like 30 minutes, maybe more, 35 minutes of footage. So they saved that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of there's no woke in it, which is nice. Even some of the conservative people were not keen on Pedro Pascal. Even they said, you know, he toned it down and does a really good job as Mr. Fantastic. So I'd see it. I don't go to the movies. Like I said before, I don't leave the house much. I
Yeah.
don't know it's worth going to the movie for. I think I'd enjoy it more on my own. But so it'll time out right when the Doctor Doom one comes out. They'll release Fantastic Four, and I can watch it at home. But the whole retro thing threw me a little bit. I'm like, why are they doing a retro? So I guess there's a reason for it.
They're resetting the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So they're going back in time. Now that Endgame is done, which is like the final part of like that series of comics, you restart essentially. And then you do the different series of comics. Because, right, everyone, there's so many different branches of
and
comics.
then the time thing too, with the different universes now, you can have all this other stuff going on.
Well, what happened was back in the 80s, I think, 80s or 90s, right? Those companies went bankrupt because no one was buying comics. So they sold the rights to just random people. So if I wanted to start writing Batman comics or Spider-Man comics, I could, as long as I bought the rights. So then when they bought the rights back, Marvel bought the rights back later, same with DC, I believe. They had to basically bring all the universes together. So that's how they came up with the multiverse theory, which really saved it. And then the DC universe, they came up with something called the Flashpoint Complex, which is why the Flash is like the most important character in DC, because he brought together all of the, like, that's how they brought together all of the comics that were, well, I mean, it's like basic history.
All I know is Mike said, "I need a new Doctor Doom cloak, Mom."
I know, yeah. And then, did you see the little Photoshop thing they did with him copy for?
Yeah.
I should post that. I was like, that's not the Fantastic Four. That's the Ting, the matchstick, and then he's put Missy Buns at top with the little Silver Surfer.
Well, that's that freaking blue outfit that we talked about on this podcast.
Yeah.
The blue outfit that he wears out, that Kenny put on that time. I'm like, where the hell is he wearing that outfit? He's worn it to Burger King. I'm like, oh, please, don't tell me you wear that out when you go out in Miami. It's
I could see I could see Mike in a Fantastic Four costume going out in Miami.
Well, this is just the plain blue outfit with the matching shorts.
If you gave Mike a cape, he would be doing this the whole time. You know, when people turn, he's like, "What do you need?" I could see Mike.
He wore it to theater with his friend. He wore the red capes when he went to Superman.
Yeah, that's
true.
He
sent me videos of it. I said, did people, and it was an early showing too. Talk about weird. It was like at 4:00. I said, did people say anything? They kind of looked at us like we're a little bit like strange.
You guys look like you're 30.
Yeah. He was joking about the Dr. Doom. He said, Mom, get going on the Dr. Doom cape.
Did you watch the crypto comic I sent you? And Mike?
You sent me a crypto comic?
Yeah, I sent you the crypto.
No, I haven't. You're right. I do remember you sent it the other day. Yeah, I have to pull that out. I'm sorry.
It's quick.
It was one of these, like I was zooming through and I go, oh, Chris sent me something. And then I said, okay, I'll look at it later. And then someone pushed a button and I had to go
grab it.
I forgot about it. That happens a lot with me lately.
All right, Mom, let's get right into the big YouTube news right now. So we already had the pirate software scandal. Share screen. Boop. We already had the pirate software scandal. Now we have this big one. Okay, I'm gonna explain this one to you, Mom. Now I got two different things.
I don't understand half the words in here. VShojo. What the hell is this?
Okay, I'll explain. So we actually had a situation like this in the podcasting community last year. If you remember this, we talked about it. But okay, so VShojo is a company, and what they do is they basically take care of or help run the companies of what's called a VTuber. So a VTuber is someone that see these little AI people. Basically, they don't want to show their face, but they don't want there to be no camera or reaction. So they make these VTubers, which we can go down that road in a second because I'm very opinionated when it comes to these VTubers. Kind of like that.
They're like avatars.
Yeah,
then.
remember?
Like avatars?
Yeah, but do you remember? Well, yes, they're exactly avatars. But remember that burnt peanut guy that I showed you? The guy that's literally a peanut on TikTok?
Maybe. How long ago? Recently?
Yeah, when you were here or when we talked.
Oh, that's a while ago.
But yeah, this guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
Oh, my God. Take that, window.
So, but that's not really a VTuber because that's more of an overlay of a person that's actually there. To my understanding, a VTuber is literally the whole thing's AI generated, but you can take the facial features of I guess it's kind of the same thing, but instead of an overlay, it's like it's a completely different person, right? Now,
Okay.
I'm not the biggest. Well, okay. Well, anyway, so that VShojo company
Yeah.
takes care of all of them. They do all the finances, and the reason they do that is because these VTubers, their goal is to be as anonymous as possible. So because they can't be their own company, because there's obviously a lot of names you have to put in there. VShojo will actually deal with all that for you. So they have your name and stuff. So all your finances go through them. They sign off on everything, so you don't have to put your name down. They have your name, obviously, because you work with them. And then you completely keep your anonymity, right?
Okay.
So there's the number one VTuber is a VTuber or Twitch streamer named Ironmouse, which is the one in the center.
Okay.
She has an immune deficiency. I forget which one it is, but it's like a really bad one, which is why she, to my understanding, can't go outside, can't do certain things. No one knows what she looks like. Doesn't really matter. But that's the beauty of YouTubing. But last year she did a subathon. So, right, like did 20 to raise money for this cancer or this charity that helps with the immune
disorder that she has?
Yeah. So it raises $500,000, which is huge, right? So that goes through the company, and the company's supposed to give that to the charity on her behalf. So a year goes by, and the company didn't give that money to the charity, right? They ended up probably keeping the money. And then so she makes a video the other day that's like, hey, these guys really messed up. It makes me look bad because people think I kept the money.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
When in reality, it's this VShojo company. And then a day goes by, they don't talk about it. Then all these other VTubers who work with this VShojo company go, oh, yeah, he owes us money too. Like, you've been keeping money from us. So that's kind of the big deal right now. And this company in the last 2 days has just completely collapsed, right? They took all their merch down. They've, I mean, I don't know who's left in their contract. Like, most people probably signed a contract and they have to stay within that contract. I know. But,
you know, what's interesting though is now if they sue the company to get their money, they're going to lose their anonymity.
Mom, you and I think exactly the same.
Well, I mean,
So-
but in court, unless the court allows them to
Right.
be plaintiffs, anonymous plaintiffs, which I doubt that, but
So
you know.
I have a different perspective on YouTube and VTubing. Like, I'm someone that believes that if you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to have some level of being a public figure. Like, you don't have to have your face out there every video, but I do think, like, if you're going to do this it doesn't really make sense from a company perspective to be completely anonymous in this business. And what I mean by that is, let's say I didn't have a face cam and I just had video go viral, whatever, right? Because you can't put a face to that video, anyone can take that video and put it somewhere, right? And reallocate it and use it. And they probably wouldn't have to fall into the fair use. I mean, it would, but it would be tough to tell. I doubt you'd be getting reported for fair use all the time.
Right.
Whereas because my face is in it, if someone tried to reallocate it and use it for themselves, I can literally say to YouTube, hey, this is me. I'm Pancake 101. That's not me. So it's a lot easier to solve. When you're a VTuber, you really can't prove that, right? You could say, oh, this is my channel and whatever. I think it's a little harder to prove, like, oh, that's me. Because there's no face to a name.
Okay.
Well, right, if I green screen, well, I guess you could do that with me as well. But
Well, there's always got to be, my understanding is there's always got, like, you're known as Pancake 101 on your site, but there's a way.
Was Grandma making a jump for it there? You were looking at the stair?
No.
Go.
I'm surprised the bell hasn't rung.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have the bell? I said, yeah, I do. There's got to be a way to tie you to your content.
Yeah.
Once you register to be online, they're not going to let anybody just register. And they created this company, so there is a way, technically, through the company, they know her identity, right?
Right.
Or his, I don't know who it is. You can't always trace it back. It's just like a layer of security, if you will. But I gotta believe anybody who goes online, there has to be a way because they want to demonetize you. They want to do all this stuff.
Yeah,
They
there's
wanna
got to be.
tell
You're
you-
right. I guess I
Right.
didn't think that
So
one through.
it's not as easy as somebody whose face is out
Right.
there and you know who that person is, but there still should be a way to track somebody down. My feeling on it is this. As long as they're following the rules and regs, like you have to give a name, maybe social security, I don't know what, to set up an account. Whatever the audience wants. If they want to look at an avatar and people are watching, that's fine. You know? It's like saying, well, you can't do a movie with cartoons.
Well,
Why?
the worst thing that happens, Mom, this is how bad the internet is. But so a lot of these VTubers decide to have these very attractive women, or men too. Some of them are very good looking dudes. And then sometimes the VTubing breaks and you see the actual person. And it's, and it just,
Not that person.
there's been two major YouTubers who that has happened to, in the sense of there's a guy named Dream, who was a Minecraft YouTuber who used to wear a mask in every video. He takes it off and he was like a normal looking dude. And I guess people had such a high, like they thought he was going to be this really good looking, his YouTube channel just like collapsed. And then there was another one named Corpse Husband who, he had this really deep voice. So women loved him. And then they saw his face and they were like, oh God. And then he's just been silent for.
Well, but then again, he wouldn't have had it in the first place if he went with his real identity, right?
Who knows? He probably wouldn't have exploded, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough to predict the future of what could have happened, but that's why this VTubing stuff. But back to what we were talking about. This is kind of feels like a little bit of a David and Goliath kind of situation where you're one person who's supposed to be your company and you're letting someone else, a big company, run you, essentially, right? So that's why I think VTubing, anything like that, is kind of dangerous, in the sense of you're letting people who you don't really know run your finances. It's not like it's a well-known banking or investment company, right? It's literally just a company that does stuff for VTubers and says all the money you make is going to go through us. We're going to take our percentage and then give it to you. Now, the question is...
But that's contractual. If you didn't sign a contract and then you could go after them. Now, it happens. I mean, there's shyster financial people out there who claim to do stuff, and it's all in writing and whatnot, and your only recourse is to sue them, right? And now, after this experience, I mean, to some extent, shame on these other people, like, oh, yeah, by the way, they owe me money too. How do you not know that if this is your business, or it's a lesson learned? You can't rely totally on that company. That's like a lot of celebrities who get burped by accountants and whatnot, who steal their money because they don't pay attention, right? I mean, it's sad.
Well,
but,
the Dane Cook situation? People. You remember Dane Cook?
Oh, I'm thinking of Kevin Bacon, right? With the... what's his name? The Ponzi guy. The Ponzi scheme.
Oh,
a lot of celebrities lost a lot of money from that. I can't think of the name.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. Anyhow, that Ponzi scheme. So a lot of it happens all the time to people. They don't do their due diligence, or you trust somebody, you think they're valid, and you find out, guess what? They stole all your money.
So it seems like they are. So it says VShojo shuts down as CEO confirms $500K Ironmouse charity donation wasn't paid. So I guess that the company is shutting down. But Dane Cook's brother was his money guy, and then his brother just took everything from him. That's why I can't let Kenny and Mike get close. I can't let him get close.
Well, you know what? As a side story, I didn't bring the article because. But the fire, you saw the fire concerts that they did out in California?
No. What happened?
You remember when they had the fires and all the celebrities, they did some concerts?
Oh, yeah.
Money?
Yeah, I thought you meant recently.
There's stories that the people didn't get the money.
Oh, yeah, happens all the time.
So it was distributed once again to all these non-profit groups. One of them was for voting. Like some crazy thing like how to improve voting in South Africa or something like that. Weird ass things that had nothing to do with the fire. And some of it did go to the victims, that is true. But this is the new thing where they do it through these nonprofits. So the victim doesn't get the money directly, like through churches or whatever. It gets distributed and they use it to buy goods for these people. No, nonprofits manage it. And now we're finding, because they raised a huge amount of money, like millions and millions of dollars, they carve it out, give it to these nonprofits, and these nonprofits are using it for social causes, not for the victims of the fire, which should be, I mean, again, it should be contractual. But if all these entertainers or whoever the organization was that raised the money said, we're going to raise it, we're going to say it's for the fire. But to me, there's a certain degree of fraud there.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I went to a concert thinking it's going, sometimes it's like This happened with Live Aid. This recently came out. That was back in the 80s. Remember when Queen, all the British groups did these, Queen had like a resurgence with young people at Live Aid. They were raising money for the starvation in Africa, the Sudan, whatever. Big event. It was the first of its kind. It's what started all these concerts to raise money. Well, now they're looking back and they're saying the victims didn't even get all the money from that. Same thing's happening now. They carve it out, they give it to nonprofits, and they go to social causes. They have nothing to do with the victims. And I know I sound heartless, but I don't like giving money anymore to anybody when they're collecting for victims because I don't know that it's going to them.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Blue Cross or Blue Shield, or was it the Red Cross? But right, it's a nonprofit organization. Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking
Red
of
Cross.
Red Cross. Right. I remember that it was people were questioning if they were giving stuff to the kids in Africa. This is back when I was younger, and they would go over and like they weren't getting anything, and they looked at the CEOs, and it's a nonprofit, but each person on the board and the chair were worth like $30 million. Like they just made crazy amounts of money off the Red Cross.
Yeah, I don't know if it was specifically the Red Cross. I can't remember if it was that organization, but you're right. It sounds great. It's a nonprofit. You donate money. United Way has that similar situation where I think they fixed that, but they'd have CEOs that were making a couple $100,000. Well, that's fine, but you should probably disclose that when you're begging people to give money for all these organizations and all these great causes. I want to know how much of my dollar is actually going to the cause and how much is going to fund administrative expenses. Oftentimes you do have a certain percentage of the money that has to go towards advertising for the event,
of course,
to stage it, whatever. Okay.
I have such a problem with nonprofits because even though they're called nonprofits, it's really just for the tax benefits because they're always trying to make profits. Like Jordan and I talk about it all the time, but like YMCAs, we both worked for YMCAs. To call themselves a nonprofit is kind of bullshit because every time it comes down to the finances, like something's getting cut and they're begging for money from other programs within the Y. So it's like, oh, the gym's got to do better because the kids' gymnastics isn't doing well. It's like, well, that doesn't seem fair.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I don't believe that nonprofits actually work.
There are tax benefits and whatnot for nonprofits.
Yeah.
You have to qualify for it. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to be a nonprofit. So there are certain things with that. But when you're giving the money and you're saying it's for a cause, all right, if you're going to give it to a nonprofit that handles, say, I don't know, fire victims, feeding or clothing, that's one thing. When you're giving it to something that has nothing to do with fire at all, right? It's a social cause. But back to what we're saying, you sign contracts. That should be the agreement. There's a certain degree of fraud. And yeah, this Ironmouse could get sued if they found out, the money didn't go to the cause.
Right.
But,
VShojo's been taking it. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? I'll play devil's advocate and say maybe she's blaming VShojo and she's the one, right? She kept the money. But she's saying, oh, they have it. You don't know because contractually somebody's got to give that money to the cause. And someone's got to go in and prosecute and investigate what went.
I would think that. I think she's in the clear because all of her finances go through VShojo anyway. Anything she makes, so anything that the stream makes goes to VShojo to send out. So they're the middleman. So I think she's probably in the clear. If she was making the $500,000 and then sending it to them, that's a little different because then you'd be like, "Are you sure?" But they would have flipped the script on her. But they didn't.
Well, and that's very simple because they're going to show, no, we gave all the money. Here's the documentation. Here's the money trail.
Right.
So, they're going to go to court and something's going to be decided, I assume, or they'll settle. If they're wrong, they'll settle and they'll give her a portion of the money or whatever. That's
we'll have to see how that goes. But
pans out.
Speaking of AIs and artificial people, 1/3 of teens use AI for friendship and romantic conversations. Mom, we're getting there. Mom, we're getting there.
Oh, God.
Study shows a survey of 1,000 teens in April and May shows a dramatic rise in the use of AI for social interaction. More than 70% of teens have used AI companions and characters, and 50% use them regularly. So this is where I get a little like, okay, so what's considered regularly? Like once a week, once a month? They don't clarify that, which I didn't really like. But
Well, and just as an aside, we were watching a TV show, and they were an opinion news show, and similar to this, now they're pushing it for little children because they want little children to have an AI friend. They think it's cute and it's stimulating, and isn't this wonderful? In place of real friends, because they can't find real friends.
yeah, it just makes you more
Why?
sheltered. Yeah, more
Why?
locked in a box. And then
Right.
the findings raise concerns as AI rapidly becomes. Read the wrong thing. Another study found that 40% of adults would date an AI chatbot.
Oh, come on.
Guys, we're hitting rock bottom here, Mom. We're hitting rock bottom.
You know what? I'm going to take that with a grain. I'm going to call that statistic baloney, because I think the novelty of it would people be like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, like, got nothing to lose. Sure, why not date an AI chatbot? Right? It's something new, novel, lasts 5 minutes, and you don't want it anymore. Like, I think that's kind of a bullshit kind of.
I guess I won't introduce you to my AI, Mom.
Oh my God.
We're getting married tomorrow.
Okay, I'm going to say this.
Uh-oh, this is where we get
The
canceled.
pendulum is going to swing.
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous. Human beings are social by nature. Okay? It's like ants. They have to be in a colony. It's in their nature. You can try, and they're trying hard, the tech world. They are trying to make you totally dependent on technology for everything, for your thoughts, your feelings, and now for your companionship. And it's proving to be a disaster for humanity. Literally a disaster.
Well, I'm just
birth
thinking.
rates are down. People are not interacting. They're not marrying. They're not having families.
Yeah.
It's this divide it's anti-humanity. I don't care how they sell it to people. It's anti-humanity. Little children are by nature designed to socialize.
That's true. I'm thinking of those dating robots that they were working on like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Now we have AI where you can make those probably pretty damn close to real people. Now you kind of do have the option of having a real something, you know?
But it's not real. And you know what?
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've convinced people, meaning younger generations, that and older people too, that you don't want to get hurt. Got to put people in a bubble. You don't want to be with a human because they could hurt you. They might actually leave you.
Yeah.
They might actually break up with you. They may say the wrong thing. They may not like you. So you know what? Program somebody who's going to be exactly.
You're really
what
selling
you want
this.
to hear.
You're really selling this to me, Mom.
No, I'm saying the opposite. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not normal to
Right.
be so fragile, and that's another offshoot of technology. Why do you think parents want their kids to have an AI friend? Well, they won't get bullied, right? They won't be let down because they're not invited to the sleepover, blah, blah, blah. That's life. We got to stop sheltering everybody from life. Yeah, some kids are shits. They really are. They're going to treat you like crap some days, right?
Yep.
So you keep going until you find the good people because they're out there. You put people in the technology world to just echo what you want to hear. That's not life. I don't know how to describe that. You're going to live in some wackadoodle alternate reality. What kind of kid you going to have whose only friend is an AI friend? Even if it's a group of them.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly. When when the AI gets to the point where we can't tell the difference, they start putting that in robots, then it's like, oh, what do we do from here? Because because no matter what, they're gonna be the best friend because that's what the bot's designed to do. So yeah, it's gonna get to the point where it's like, why would I talk with this kid when he's kind of an asshole versus Well, Well, that's depressing.
Echo chamber to give you back what I want to hear.
Yeah.
You know why? Because one is organic and one is inorganic.
Right.
We are organic beings.
But Mom, my question is, how many years are going to go by until we stop looking at things as organic and inorganic? It's not going to be our lifetime, but I mean, there's going to be a point where a robot's just like your normal neighbor.
Right, but the question is, human beings as we exist.
Right.
What does it do for us emotionally? It's like you always see in shows, dystopian society. People will be turning to drugs. People will be self-medicating. We're kind of going on that path right now, right?
Right, but couldn't you make the argument that, right, you're talking about how humans are naturally social beings. Technically, you're going to have better social interaction with a robot. You just won't have human-to-human social interaction. You'll only have the positives, but not the negatives. Okay.
I'm being buzzed.
I got to get my water anyway, so. Yeah. So what I was saying is, how long until, because technically your best social interaction is going to be with a robot that's an AI rather than, because like, why would it matter if it's human or not, the social interaction? Because it's going to get to the point where you can't tell the difference anyway.
Because, well, I just feel, I don't know, put it this way, there's another article that I put in there about AI, right?
Yeah.
And the guy, the writer, it brings up some good points about where we are now and how this is so hyped, but is AI really that great? It's always appears successful. They dance, they clean, but can they really do the high level work that they talk about? If you think about
not right now.
Stuff, right. AI papers, they're not original. So when they generate 50 different AI writes these papers that the professor reads. Okay, not to say the kids are geniuses, but every now and then you get an inspired kid. You get that bright kid who writes a paper. You're never going to get that with AI if people rely on that for stuff. There's that organic part of human beings.
My only rebuttal to that is that's just because we're not at that point now, right? Like, considering we've come this far in 2 years is pretty insane.
Right. They're hyping it, right? But the reality of AI is it's only going to be, right now, as good as what you put into it, yeah. Right? It's only going to give you back information. For instance, it can't read an entire collection of text. Like it does, but it doesn't give you, it's only going to give you the extent of what it knows.
Right.
There's no I guess at some point we think there'll be infinite AI knowledge or, it'll just train itself, blah, blah, blah. But it's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy that it's going to just kind of undo itself. It's like the Terminator, or it's going to try and kill off itself. It's like a weird, vicious cycle. And we're hyping it like crazy now. Oh, now we're going to have people that date each other, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. All those people, they'll have relationships with AI and they'll still be depressed.
Yeah, exactly. That's the downside.
But that's because they'll still be unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, once you put it in AI,
with human beings.
Yeah,
it happens with human beings, right? But there's always the other option. So let me program a different AI to be even better for me. You could have the perfect AI for you, and you still might not be happy because you're not getting the organic. You're just getting what's programmed into it. Go ahead.
Do you think we'll ever get to the point where it's like, how you always wonder, like, is that a man or a woman? And then now it's going to be, is that a man, woman, or robot?
Yeah.
Well, there's a good chance we'll get to that point someday. Not anywhere near
every sci-fi movie. Aliens number 4 or 3.
Well, take that.
Right?
What's that new Megan Fox movie that came out? Yeah, what's that Megan Fox movie that just came out that she was in? I don't know. She's like the wife gets the husband like it's like Megan Fox as if she was like I guess a sex robot, to say the least. It's like, okay, so we're pushing in Hollywood. We're like, that's going to happen at some point. The question is how long until that happens. So.
Well, and we're also assuming that that's what everybody wants. I mean, if they convince you that your child needs an AI friend, you're going to believe it.
Right.
And when the child is screwed up, AI is going to convince you it was your fault, not ours. Right?
Right.
And,
So going to this article that maybe AI isn't going to replace your work after all. Unfortunately, Sam Altman today or yesterday just had like a huge press conference, I guess you could say. And he literally named all of the job industries that we could take over right now to the point where we won't need humans anymore. And it's like, oh, unfortunately, this guy's article is very wrong. Because I read through this one. I was like, yeah, maybe from a social interaction, but the actual work part is...
Well, let's see. I know Sam Altman said that, and I know that makes sense. But I'm going to couple that with what this guy's saying. Okay. Stop telling me the great things. I mean, we have seen, robotic surgery. Remember we talked about the last time AI was involved in that. Great. I mean, there are aspects to it. I think from a learning perspective or a grunt job perspective, right now, AI may have a place.
Right.
But when you start introducing it as an alternative to a human interaction, a human being, not the grunt work of a job or an assembly line, but when you're trying to replace it with a human being, that's where I think you're going to have some real issues for humanity, meaning they're going to convince you this is a good thing. Why are we convinced it's a good thing? I know it's not a good thing, but I'm not of the world where I was born, bred, went to school with electronics.
Yeah. Because you're going to have, there's going to be a point where these AI robots are going to be in class with your kids because they have to learn themselves.
Why would our kids be in class? They never have to go to school. They don't have to learn.
Yeah, well, there's going to be that period of time where they have to test it. So they're going to have real kids in with robots. So it's going to happen from a testing perspective. But I don't know.
Why?
But all I know,
robots will surpass the
well,
kids.
You know what?
What I'm saying. This is Mr. Altman. Everybody has all the answers. Great. Yeah. Okay, where are we going with this?
The worst part about Sam Altman, I guess you could say, I wouldn't say worst part, but like yesterday he was talking about, unfortunately, how AI is used to get into banks, how AI is used to do robberies, he's like, yeah, you guys gotta watch out for this stuff. He said that to like the security teams, and it's like, you've created this monster, dude. I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait, dude, this was your idea, and now people are abusing it. So,
well, and that's something to the effect that Musk and others have said. You have to be careful with this. It's a fabulous ability, and it's got tremendous potential for humanity, but it can also be the end of humanity.
Well, AI porn, right? When they were taking celebrities, remember who was it? Was it Scarlett Johansson that got hit for that? Where they were making that's pretty damn scary.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well, I mean that's a bad thing and shouldn't happen. I'm saying, when your ultimate goal is to replace humanity, that is the ultimate goal. And it's starting with things like, hey, don't you want a partner who's an AI? Or shouldn't your child give your kid a friend who's AI?
Yeah.
You don't need another human being. Don't kid yourself. This whole anti-bullying, misogynist, this is not out of the ordinary. I think these things are planned.
Yeah.
The way of looking at stuff, men are bad. Men fight. Men are no good. They need to soften. They need to be, more emotional, more this, more that. And words hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. Words don't kill you. They can hurt, but they don't kill you. And guess what? Sometimes you need to get bruised a little bit. It's like putting a kid in a bubble so they never get sick. Then you don't build up immunity.
Right. Honestly,
same thing in the emotional world.
Mom, what I think we should do is we should go back in time and start going back to the payphones. I thought this was kind of cool. Right? Yeah. So Vermont engineer restores payphones for free calls in areas with spotty service. First off, think that's still illegal? I don't know if you could do that. Right? Isn't that tampering with public property?
What do you mean? These were in the garbage. They
these out. Okay. I thought it was one that was just decommissioned.
No, this guy is an electrical engineer in Vermont. His name is Schlott. He was the first one.
Of course, his
he
name
put
is
outside
Schlott.
a general store. He got out of a landfill or something. He reworked it.
Right.
I'm not quite understanding how it's working from the article, in the sense that it converts an internet line to an analog. So I guess it can pull some internet, makes it analog, and it's somehow he's the operator, and he transferred the calls for users through his,
Yeah.
I guess, cell phone.
That's actually a pretty easy system if that's how he did it. All you have, I believe, is just a receiver in there that literally it acts kind of like Wi-Fi calling on our phones, like how we have Wi-Fi calling. But he's made himself the tower in a sense, because it has to bounce off somewhere to go somewhere else. Problem with that is the guy could definitely hear your calls if he wanted to.
Well, I think that's part of it, but he does say, and he's paying for it. He pays for all the service. It's only a few dollars, but he says it expands because he put one at a general store, and it was tremendously popular because you can't use your cell phone. He had one put another one outside a library, also tremendously because the kids would all call their parents to pick them up because they couldn't use a cell phone. And he says if we do more, my subsidizing it, that could become an issue because it gets expensive. But at least it's somebody trying to think outside the box. As of right now, he's not making money on it. It's actually costing him money. But it's a great way to... I've said this to people I know who have terrible cell phone service at their home. Like, here's an answer.
I could use one because with all the copper walls in here, freaking I'll take it.
It's funny. I wonder how many people in your podcast look at this or people say, I go, what is that? I have no idea what that is.
Oh, yeah. What's a payphone?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Michael once said to me when he was little, he didn't know what it was. Like, what is that?
I wonder if Mike would know how to use one of the phones with a dial phone.
The rotary.
The rotary phone.
The rotary, yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I was laughing because I saw this one was a push button. I mean, I remember the rotaries, the whole shebang with that. Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. How would you? Where's the? The buttons are underneath. I didn't see the buttons.
Yeah, it's underneath. It's a regular push button.
Yeah.
But
back when you had to memorize everyone's numbers.
Yeah, that's not even the old kind. The old kind was the rotary.
Yeah.
It would count out each thing. Yeah. So I thought it was a great idea.
I'm glad to see people are making useful technology. Speaking of useful technology, Robo Bunnies are the newest weapon in the fight against invasive Bernese pythons in Florida. Look at that little thing. That thing's hideous. That looks fake as hell.
They had real bunnies for a while there. They put them in cages and just to draw their goal is to just draw these pythons out because apparently these pythons are great hiders. And they do the hunts every year. You win $10,000 if you have the most, blah, blah, blah. But it's becoming so difficult, taking so much time to get these things to come out. So they're trying these Robo Bunnies. And I guess they saw an uptick. University of Florida, they draw the birds of hiding. And once the python comes out, a camera alerts the catcher to go and get it. So the bunny has a simulated warmth to it and a heartbeat,
Right,
whatever.
so it goes for the bite.
No, I don't even think you can get at it because I think they keep the bunnies in cages. But
that's true.
Cages,
yeah, they don't want to.
Right.
They don't want. I'm sure those bunnies aren't cheap.
Yeah, and it even has a camera. So once there's motion, the camera clicks on, and they can identify where the snake is, and the catcher can go and can euthanize it. I love that term, euthanize.
Shoot it in the goddamn head or cut its head off. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yes, it's becoming such a problem that they're looking for anything. And remember, I was saying to you, why can't we use AI to catch snakes? Now, there's something valuable.
There we go.
Come up with the system AI.
One thing that grinds my gears is when those wildlife channels talk about like the Irwins, for instance. This venomous snake is an endangered species. It's a beautiful animal. I'm like, fucking kill it. Get rid of it. We have no reason for it. I don't think. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to tell me like, oh, there's a big use case like why we need snakes in the environment. I don't give a shit. Get rid of it. If it can kill me, get rid of it. Same with spiders. Fuck. Well, I think spiders do a little bit more for our ecosystem, whereas snakes, well, they kill field mice. Okay. Cool. Kill it. I could kill a field mouse.
That's fine, but when you start telling me they're going after the bunnies,
yeah.
So that's why they're using the bunnies because they've killed so many of the bunnies. I'm like, damn, get rid of the snakes, killing the bunnies, and bigger stuff. We know these things grow to huge sizes and they take on bigger.
The
animals.
pythons are huge.
If Hawaii can do fine without snakes, I think the rest of the world can too.
Yeah. Oh, what else do we have, Mother? Let's see. We got. Time Magazine humiliates itself by excluding Joe Rogan from the 100 greatest podcasts of all time. That's hilarious.
Right.
That's hilarious. Dude, I don't care where you are on the spectrum. If Rogan is not in your top 3, like it just doesn't make sense. The article doesn't make sense. Right?
Just the bigger question is, why isn't the Kakeshop on there?
We should be at least in 50, top 50.
It's it's another one. Time Magazine is barely, I think it's barely surviving. It's as thin as can possibly be now. And the person who picked it, I'm not familiar with the writer because I don't read a lot of Time Magazine, but this person who wrote this article, what's her name? Something
Sasha Stone.
The name of the individual's on it. It's at the beginning. I can't see it in that. But apparently she picked it, and based on her Eliana Doctorman, based on her pick, the person who wrote the article is like, no wonder he's not on the list. She's got like she's of a particular ilk, and she's choosing all these podcasts that would appeal to someone like her, not based on, I don't think, numbers or popularity or whatever.
Just listen to her bio. Doctorman is a correspondent at Times. She covers culture, society, and gender, including topics from blockbuster movies to Me Too movement specifically. Yeah. So yeah, you know why Rogan's not on there. But like as I said, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you were talking just top 100 podcasts, I still don't think anyone's gone bigger than Rogan. I don't think there's a single podcast that's done half the numbers.
No, you say podcasts and people think of Rogan, whether you watch them or not. It's just, taken to a new level.
I'm trying to think.
Podcaster.
There's definitely some shows or some podcasts that like will have a first ever episode or whatever, and it's like a big celebrity start. Like remember the Kardashians started a podcast, and for one day it had more views than Rogan, and they were like it toppled Rogan, and the next day Rogan's like numbers doubled them. Yeah. Like it doesn't. You're not taking down Rogan.
One-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Right.
So
One-hit wonder.
Yeah, you can't be. I don't even know half these people that are on there.
It's her, and nothing wrong with that if she wants to put what her picks are or what she,
Yeah, if you're not a fan of Rogan, but to say top 100 podcasts based on what? Right. Views on what you like. Okay, you don't like them, but I know plenty of people who don't like Rogan, and they still would put him in at least the top 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they like it because of the people that come on.
Yeah.
Maybe they relate to the people he invites on, which to his credit, he has all types of people on there.
But you could also make the argument that the reason that Time Magazine and all these companies are failing right now is because of Rogan, right? In the sense of, right, he's the one that called them out on their bullshit, had people come on who called them out on their bullshit, took them down, right? With all the COVID stuff, with the Fauci stuff. He made these people look terrible and made people realize that the best medium are podcasts, not Times Magazine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a new way of magazines or print industry has been declining for at least 20 years now, slowly, to the point where now, you don't even need somebody writing an article because podcasters, they'd rather hear you talk about what you want to say and whatever. But, I mean, you always have a need for a journalist. Rogan's not a journalist. There's a certain degree of an interviewing, entertaining,
okay,
blah,
but
blah.
Here's my question, Mom, right? And I don't like. I've come to learn that I don't like the term journalist anymore. And what I mean by that is, what is a journalist? Someone that just goes out and writes? You're just writing what you would say, correct?
No, and that's the difference.
Okay.
There's
You're going to tell me she did research?
No, you have a journalist. Well, I can tell you what they're supposed to be.
Right.
And like a novelist is going to write fiction. They may not, an autobiographer is going to write a true story.
I just think that the definition of journalist is very loose nowadays. Just because you write an opinion piece in a newspaper doesn't make you a journalist.
No. That's the opposite. An opinion writer is different than what is classic journalist. A classic journalist, somebody goes out and gets the story, the who, what, where, when, why, how. Their opinion isn't in it.
Right.
The facts of what's happened, whether it's a car crash down the street or a major scandal in Washington, D.C., Obamagate, who, what, where, when, why, how. If you're a good journalist, I have no idea
where you are on the spectrum.
Vote for. I have no idea what side of the aisle you're on, right? Ideally. that's different from today. Most news shows, they're not journalists. There aren't a lot of journalists anymore. And that's because the way they're educating people, it's they want you to put your opinion, your ideology. You're patted on the back for that. But that's not what people want. So you get somebody like a Rogan who comes in and interviews people with the idea that I have no opinion here. I'm just going to ask you questions, right? But if you've noticed, and I'm not saying it's wrong because he's not a journalist, Rogan has at times put his opinions in the way he asked the question, and he's actually come out and made some statements like, I disagree with this, I disagree with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a podcaster. That's what we do, right? It's my opinion. Everybody can disagree with
I
it.
have facts, but okay.
We bring some degree of facts if we can, right?
We make
But
the
we're
facts.
also-
Our
we're
opinion's the
relying on
only
other-
right way.
Right, but we rely on other writers, right? So I didn't read this Time article. I'm relying on the Sharon person who wrote about this woman,
Yeah.
and I'm saying she's giving me the facts. I'm going to go with it because it doesn't surprise me. But that's a little bit different than if you're sitting here and you're going to give somebody some facts about something, right?
Right.
Depends on who your source is. Anyhow, what one of the most renowned journalism schools is in our country?
Most renowned journalism school.
I mean, there are many, obviously, but from a university standpoint, the one that's known for journalism.
Let me think. It's probably going to be something in New York City.
Yes.
Tell me it's Fordham.
No.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, I thought that was a trick question.
No, I'm not saying that they're not good. Fordham doesn't have journalism school, obviously.
Sponsor us.
But what was always considered, the creme de la creme, Columbia.
Oh,
What does that tell
makes
you?
sense.
What does that tell you, right?
Yeah.
Now, are there great teachers? Sure, but as we're learning, there's a huge slant in universities. Imagine when you're churning out journalists.
I'll never forget at Scranton. I was telling someone this story recently. My senior year, I had this guy. I won't say his name, but I had a teacher who walks in for a writing class who worked for the Scranton Times. And he was like, I've never given anyone over a 90 in my class. We were like, oh, this guy must be good. And he goes, well, I actually got fired from the Scranton Times. It's like,
Yeah.
Why are you here? Unless you got fired for something sick. If it was like beating up someone in the office for an opinion, I don't know. That guy was a whack job.
He could have gotten fired because he was a journalist and they wanted their opinion put in the article.
Yeah, maybe.
Sometimes, it's a badge of honor to be fired for that reason.
Well, here's my problem with writing classes, and I don't want to go off on a tangent. This guy was like, okay, from literally first day, he goes, we're going to read this piece. And remember that, if you remember that class, it was a whole book of old plays. Do you remember this?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, it was like we would have to read a play every day and give our opinion on it, right? He's like, what's your opinion on what you think this means? And literally some kid, nicest kid ever, I can't remember his name, but he's like, well, I think what it means, he gives this long speech about how, like, what he thinks probably a little on the spectrum, gave this long speech about what he thought, and the professor walks around and he goes, I don't like that. He just goes, I don't like that. And that's how we knew, like, this is bullshit. Why'd you ask us what our opinion is if you're just going to tell us it's wrong, right? You think your opinion's better? Right, you can't go back and ask these people. All these people have been dead for, some of them, 300 years.
Right.
Right? But
your
you know
microphone's choppy, just so you know.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. Every now and then it gets a little choppy. Not consistently, but every now and then. No, yeah, I mean, teachers do that sometimes. All of a sudden they have an opinion. You have to think like they do. We know that,
Yeah.
It's only the quality of what you're dealing with some of these professors. But, I mean, I'm not saying that there are bad journalists that come out of Columbia, but as we're learning, that school is,
very opinionated.
bending the knee to the current administration because of all the garbage that they've churned out of that school that, you got to wonder when you see the quality of actual journalism, maybe not the writing, but actual journalism going down where now you really got to fight hard to figure out, I just need a good, who can I rely on? Just give me the facts. And, we're learning every day, especially now. Now we've got a whole big thing with this whole Obamagate thing, which we didn't talk about in this podcast, and that's fine. It's going to unravel. But, how many of them...
Even though everyone's calling it a hoax, Mom? Everyone's saying that Tulsi Gabbard is fabricating information?
Yeah,
As
she's not.
Yeah.
I know
as
that.
as she's pulling out documents, going, here it is. Like, I'm not fabricating it. Here it is.
Right. But in terms of what we're talking here, this hoax would never have happened if we didn't have the media
Right.
that pushed it and refused to cover it now because they were so complicit. Now, that's the state of the media in our country today. How bad is that? That they can't even do the current story as the biggest news. Even if they don't agree with it, they won't even talk about it.
Yeah.
Because of how badly it was handled from a media perspective. So I got to rely on Aliana Doctorman to tell me who the best.
That Rogan's not on there?
Mention Joe Rogan?
Or the Kakeshop? Like,
Oh, the
fuck
Kakeshop.
you, Elena.
Exactly. Bye, Aliana Doctorman.
Yeah, you don't know who we are.
That's right.
Now, you actually put this one. First ever HellRaiser game announced with Doug Bradley returning as Pinhead. I've never seen HellRaiser. What's so big? What's the big deal about this?
It's a single player game, Chris.
Yeah, but what's HellRaiser, Mom? Is it a movie?
That was a movie. So Pinhead is the character. See what the Pinheads. Yeah. So Aiden, I guess, is one of the main characters from the movie or something involved in it. Aiden versus Pinhead. Clive Barker's HellRaiser Revival. So Saber Interactive, and I guess it's called Boss Games. They came together, and the guy who did it, this is Clive Baker, I guess he's the creator of the movie, is talking it up like crazy about how realistic and close to the movie and blah, blah, blah. So I guess there was a lot of...
Did you watch the trailer?
No, of course
I
not.
looked at the trailer. I was like, damn, we're getting to the point where video games it's a slightly inappropriate, but I was very impressed with how it looked.
Yeah, Mr. Burn Peanut's not going to talk about this.
Yeah. Hey, Burn Peanut.
I don't think he's going to walk through this.
Clive Barker's HellRaiser Revival.
That's the name of the game.
Oh, when do we have a date for it?
It will be on stream and whatnot.
Steam.
Yeah.
Steam.
I'm sorry, so it's just Steam. Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, I believe.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. All right, Mom, I'll take I'll take the hit for the team. I'll take a hit for the team till it comes out as overwhelmingly negative. We had a big game.
60-year-old.
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize we're giving our dates out, our ages. Okay. Hey, at least they're doing something right. Whereas Ubisoft, talk about out of touch. Ubisoft, who is in every scandal when it comes to video games, and unfortunately for them, they don't have the finances. They're not like the big AAA companies that have some hundreds of billions of dollars. They have a market cap of like $5 billion, which is nothing to laugh at, but like you're the smallest of all, and they go, no, we're going to keep doing microtransactions because it makes the games more fun. The one thing that every gamer doesn't want. I've never heard someone say, man, I love microtransactions. And these idiots at Ubisoft go, we add them because it makes it more fun. No, because you want money. You want more money.
When you buy crap, like you can buy the next level, and
you can buy cosmetics. You can buy this. It's like, there's nothing you do to make it more fun. And unfortunately, Call of Duty has kind of gone this route too. So their big game this year was Assassin's Creed, the newest one, Shadows.
Right.
Talk about the biggest drop off. Like, it was the most talked about game. It was okay, and then just no one talks about it, and they're still trying to promote it, and their numbers have not risen at all. So,
do younger people like it? I mean, you're older game. Do the young kids like to do that? Like they talk about, I bought this, and then my guy does that. Like, is that like little kids like to dress up?
The problem is it's single player. If it was a multiplayer game, then you see more talk. I love single player games, but most people don't play single player games. More people play multiplayer. So that's why you have Call of Duty, you have Battlefield. Like, you have people that play Call of Duty and they don't even touch the campaign. They only play the multiplayer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they do it as a group.
Yeah, Mom, like trying to get Matt Sprague to play a non-multiplayer game is like pulling teeth. Because just in most gamers' heads, it's like, I want to compete against other kids. I want to compete against a computer, and I get that. Okay. But I like more challenging games. If that makes sense.
But that's why I'm just saying that these microtransactions, I can see young kids getting a kick out of that. Buying the costume, buying the this.
Yeah. That. The problem is when
it's not good at it if they could buy.
Right. The problem is not the microtransactions themselves. It's in a multiplayer game. If I'm buying something and I get an advantage over people.
Right.
And unfortunately, Call of Duty has kind of fallen for that trap. So if you're buying out the battle pass first day, you're gonna have an advantage over everyone else. So that's why Call of Duty has just gone down the shitter. So, I mean, I don't have any more articles, Mom, but I would like to dedicate this podcast to the late Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. That was a tough week. Not to end it on a negative note, but
I don't know. Grandma was just bad mouthing Hulk Hogan now. I don't know what she read. She saw something somewhere. She's like, I can't believe you used the N-word. Like, what are you talking about? I have to ask her.
I don't think she's wrong about that. Hulk Hogan definitely had a little bit more of a background. Yeah. But what's depressing is, right, he died on the operating table, right? Or like the next day after. It was like an operation gone bad because he was a guy that needed surgeries all the time. You know, he was like 6'7", and after all of his back surgeries, he went down to 6'4" or 6'3". Yeah. And then I think he had some surgery for something, and then after the surgery, he was in kind of a vegetative state. Next day, he passed away. Whereas Ozzy's on the brighter note, I guess you could say. Again, shout out to Hulk Hogan, absolute legend, whether you like him or not. Ozzy, I mean, he's been dying. He said it a couple years ago. He's like, I'm dying, like straight up. I got Parkinson's, and then he did. I mean, his last show. I don't know if you've seen clips of it, but I mean, everyone in the metal industry, like heavy metal industry. You had Slipknot there. You had Youngblood, he's more pop. You had Jack Black, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but I get it, with Tenacious D. And just so many big guitarists. And then his daughter gets engaged. I told you that to the guy, I believe, from Slipknot. So, honestly, it was a good way for him to go out. I don't know if you saw, but Youngblood did, you know the song Changes by Ozzy? You definitely heard it.
Probably, a lot of his famous songs I've heard. Yeah,
so Youngblood did a cover of it at the concert. Like, he actually sang it because Ozzy couldn't. It's like the #1 song on iTunes right now.
Oh,
he shattered it, and all the proceeds are going to stuff. And he says every day, Youngblood said today, every day I'm going to, because Ozzy was like a father to him in a sense, like they're very similar. Every day he's going to do that song. So every concert from now on, he's going to do Changes. So
Lady Gaga, cool. I think she's on tour, and she did a tribute song to him at the end. I think they did Crazy Train.
Oh, really? That's sick. Crazy Train's a good one.
I saw some clip of it. I don't know the context. I didn't think she was on tour, but it sounded like she did it at the end of her tour, they said, or the end of her show, whatever show on her tour. Parkinson's, apparently, I just read this, it doesn't kill you, but it causes other problems that can kill you. Which I guess I knew he wasn't well. I didn't know it was just from Parkinson, like if something else.
He lived one hell of a life, though. I mean, the Prince of Darkness. You gotta live a pretty dope life.
That he went that far, considering his drug history, which he talks about, and the hard living he did. I think it's, and then
13 dogs. Don't forget he had 13 dogs.
Wow.
13 little Shih Tzus or Chihuahuas.
Yeah, he's a character. I wasn't a.
He wasn't a character, Mom. He was a legend. Big difference.
Well, I mean, it was for the younger generation who didn't know him. They only knew him from his show and recently. His character. You couldn't even understand him with the heavy British accent and the slurring of the words. Mainly because, we all just thought his brain was fried. And literally it was.
But he was also British.
And on top of it, you got to wonder, it's like a double whammy. If you have a proclivity to Parkinson's disease, you're probably the last thing you should ever do is do drugs. So he kind of like didn't know better, but probably made things a lot worse in his life.
It's not like he knew.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where you don't have a crystal ball, but still, that was the environment. The drugs, sex, drugs, and alcohol, and rock and roll for that generation. Still is today, but
I do like.
He was successful.
Yeah, he was when his daughter got proposed to. He was like, "You're not marrying my daughter," and then the guy opens the ring. He's like, "Ah!"
I think he's a big joker too. But you know what? He was one of the ones, not the only one, but he's one of the original shockers of the day. Biting the head off the bat. People didn't do stuff like that. And we were all like, oh my God, he's insane.
Conan O'Brien had him on, and they were like, besides eating bats, what do you like to eat? And he just takes a pause. He goes, I love cottage cheese. He was witty. Like, there's something to... Again, I would not say I was like the biggest Ozzy Osbourne fan, but as a guitarist, like obviously a legend. Like you can't deny that. Same with Hulk Hogan. Like we lost 2 big ones in a week, And usually
Yeah.
death comes in threes, so we'll have to see who the next one is. I'm gonna take a guess.
Oh God! Can't even predict.
Imagine if I predicted it right. People would be like, "Oh shit." Then I'd be the Prince of Darkness.
Chuck Mangione died.
Chuck Mangione.
See, you don't know him.
Could that be from Karate Kid?
No, Chuck Mangione was a saxophonist and a French horn. He was a horn. He had, I think, one hit wonder, but it was a big one around the time, I think in the 80s, 90s. It was a great song, instrumental, no words, and it was very popular. I forget what it's called, but for my generation, we all knew Chuck Mangione. And there was somebody else famous who died recently, so it wasn't just those two. But yeah, I mean, obviously those everybody knows, all generations know. The other one person, it hit me after the end of the podcast, but yeah, it was one of those weeks where like, oh, did you see who else died? Oh, somebody else died today. But yeah, the Ozzy Osbourne one and Hulk Hogan was a shock. I don't think people expected that one.
Yeah, 71, which is kind of young, but again, after hearing about the surgery, you go, oh, okay, that makes sense. So
he was on Rogan.
Yeah,
and
not too long ago.
About all his, when he talks about all his injuries and problems and constant pain, it's like I was telling you, Dad watches that Dark Side of the Ring. Please, somebody call in. Does anybody have a good story from the WWE world?
Yeah, I mean, their bodies go through everything. Yeah.
Or drug addiction, or alcoholic, or divorced, or estranged from their kids. Every one of the stories is just like a sad sack. It's really, really pathetic. Families broken up, and they usually come around, but it's always. But now I live in constant pain. It's so sad.
What was the? Yeah, it's a shame, but all right, yeah. Mom. Well, coming up. I mean, I'm not here for most of the week because I'm going to be at your house, just hanging with Graham.
Yep.
And then
our house.
That's pretty much it.
It's always our house, wherever Dad and I.
That's true. Thank you,
It's
Mom.
for everybody. It's always for our house.
Which is why I'm going to have my own room in the new one. And our own studio.
Well, we'll have
What?
We'll have a spot. We'll have a spot for everybody.
How about a barn?
In the new house, if it ever happens. But we still, I don't know. It's funny, we have spots here, but it just always seems to be like too many people. When they all come and you think like, oh man, I'm running out of beds. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna need like a 12-bedroom house, by the way.
Oh my God.
It's getting to that point.
You're not kidding.
So tell Dad.
Yeah, no, he's okay with it. One step at a time, right?
Yeah.
Just get past next week and get Grandma healthy, and we're gonna go take a look at some different places while you guys are here keeping her company, which would be nice.
They're looking at the celebrity houses, no big deal.
Oh yeah, she's due for a break. She's as sick of me as I am of her. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. All right. Only thing I have to promote is obviously the podcast from last week. I posted, I think Heartbound was last week, so go check that out. I think. No, Heartbound wasn't last week. Oh, Neon Abyss was Wednesday. Neon Abyss 2, go check that out, as well as a speed run for Friday. Next week, as I said, I'm not here, so I'll promote them now. Obviously, we're not streaming. I'm going to be plowing through Wu Chen, which is the new game I was saying. I started that today just because we have to get the walkthrough going for that, hopefully when I come back. And then I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to keep posting videos. I just have to edit them from home rather than from my apartment. So social media, promo code, stream links, Discord down below, and I will see you guys.
You say you got to edit it from the New Jersey studio rather than North Carolina.
The New Jersey studio. Yeah. From the New Jersey studio. Social media, promo code, stream links, Discord down below. And hopefully we'll see you next week. We'll have to figure that out. We might shoot it at home. So, yeah. Later.